Hello, everyone. Uh, Welcome to today's session. Automation, automating the future. RPA meets the agentic AI. Okay, so I'm Gurpreet. In a little while, I'll be explaining that what is RPA, what it actually was, and after meeting the agentic AI, what we can do extraordinary with the RPA. Okay. So, first of all, what is RPA? RPA basically is robotic process automation. What it do? It actually automates your manual tasks like data entry and processing of your invoices, emailing to someone, and all that stuff. Okay. So, why RPA still matters? RPA is a old technology, but it's still in current time, and it is still in flow. Okay, so the fundamentals of digital workflow. Let's break it down. It handles boring tasks. So when you are talk about some invoice processings, okay, so we have an example here. Jack is a data entry expert. What it do whenever it receives invoice, it enters the key details of the invoice into the Excel sheet. Danny. Danny is a data entry evaluator. Okay, whatever data entry has been done by the Jack, it evaluates the data. And Bill is the owner of the company. Jack processes one invoice in 10 minutes. Okay, it take $4 per invoice. Danny evaluate that data entry and take $4 per invoice. And what Bill have is $2 left in the profit. Then what Bill did, he took up a RPA system which processes one invoice in 2 minutes. The data entries get done by RPA automatically, and then Danny evaluates the data entry in $4, and Bill is left with $5 profit. So in short term of time, it get $3 increase in the profit. Then RPA fundamentals. So RPA strengths. First of all, I have in the last example, we see that RPA automates your boring tasks. Data entry is been done by the RPA. It's been in the system for past 6 to 7 years, and it's automatically being doing the process. Then legacy system interactions. Some of the systems are being compatible with RPA by default in these days. Like if you see many of the OCR based applications being processed is being used by many of the companies like shipping slips detection and all that stuff. Tools like UiPath and ActiveBatch and Zyper is being in the market from so many times. It automates your boring tasks. Most of the things gives you the power to automate your testing as well. Then the strength of traditional RPA, higher accuracy. When you rely on the systems instead of normal human beings, what errors you resolve is the human error. Some sort of misspellings in English, in basic English, and all that stuff is being removed in that. Then cost efficient. We have seen in the example that Jack used to take $4 for one invoice, whereas RP automation take $1 per invoice. Runs 24/7. You can't make Jack work 24/7, whereas RPA can work 24/7. Quick wins. Okay, so your team has to focus on some more productive tasks like data evaluation, data entry evaluation, whereas doing the boring tasks like data entry. Okay, so here's the catch. RPA have the static logic. What if you are processing an invoice, you have a set of similar invoices, and then randomly one different invoice comes in, the keys are different, the English is different, you won't be able to process that invoice. Okay. Then brilliantness, the sensitivity of UI changes is the same. That if the invoice has a different keys, the layout is different, you won't be able to process it. No autonomy. Your data entry RPA can enters the data, but it can't think of it that it is right data or is it a wrong data. Operational dependency. Some RPAs are dependent on human touch as well for decision making. Then agentic AI. Agentic AI is a new loop. Agentic AI is basically the brain. It makes decisions. It gives you the power to evaluate things. It allow you to leverage LLMs in daily tasks. And we are all seeing that LLMs has take over 80% of market in IT industry. Working with LLMs, every company want a separate chatbots, their decision making systems, everything. Then what agentic AI actually is. Agentic AI is basically the set of agents. Agents are the combination of tools, the LLM and the memory. LLM use the memory to holds the conversation, to holds the process it has been done till now, and what it will do in the coming phase. Then the tool. Tool allow your LLM to interact to the additional integrations. You want a Jira ticket to be written by just your meeting transcription. Tools will allow you to do that. Will help you do that. Then key characteristics of agentic AI. It's goal driven, not just A or B. It basically have the ability to decide which part of the particular system it has to work on. Then tool integration, we talked about that if you have different integrations, you want your Jira ticket to be written by just your meeting transcripts. You have your Jira tools ready, you have your LLM ready, you give your LLM the output structure that your Jira tickets that your Jira tool wants, and then your LLM will generate that output structure and passing it to the tool, it will make your Jira tickets automatically. It remembers stuff, the most crucial part actually. What if you have your LLMs working without remembering what it has done previously? It will do the same and same task again and again without thinking of that is it a correct thing or not. Okay, so examples. There are few examples of agentic AI. AutoGPT, then OpenAI's function calling. OpenAI has recently launched a SDK that is OpenAI agents. It allows you to build agents effectively without much coding efficiently. It have three types of agents: React agents, it's a thinking agent, and just LLM agent. React agents is a crucial part in these days. It basically it's a combination of two words: reasoning and act. It think, it decide, and it then act. Then Zyper was already there for the RPA automation. Zyper has come up with AI actions as well, in which it can create AI agents. Then you can make RPA automation as a decision making as well. We will be seeing in coming slides. Okay, so here is the starting of actually the session was RPA meets the agentic AI. They combined. Recently, there are so many tools in the market that provide you this visibility to create RPAs with the agents. RPA is a hands for doing tasks, where agentic AI is the brain for the system. Here is a brief of how RPA and agentic AI works. RPA execute the tasks where AI interpret the context. If I have a chatbot and I want to email to one of my colleague, effective email or a formal email, so I will just write the chatbot to write a email, and the chatbot is basically the LLM. The tools that are integrated is the emailing SMTP servers, and then the process of other things that are to be included, like if I want to invoice my email content to one particular of my client, I would just request RPA. I would just request AI to write an email. The AI will make the decision what it has to do in the steps. First, execute the RPA to get the data of your invoice, then write an informal email, and then email it to your client. These all being done by the tools. Okay. So what happens when they combine? So it's basically magic, because you don't need to actually get Danny into the system to evaluate what Jack has entered. You have the RPA, he data entered the data. You have the LLM as the agent, evaluates your data, and have the tools ready to email it to your customers. So you are saving all $10 without any uh, additional costing. So here is a visual example of how a email processing automation flow works. You have a trigger whenever a new mail arrives. Agentic AI analyze the email. Then you have decision making capabilities with Agentic AI, and then the RPA automation that executes your particular task. Okay. Real world examples, RPA is being used in many of the systems, and nowadays Agentic AI has been integrated in that to remove the workload of those employees that was being used in those boring stuff. Then there are some use cases. Okay. So we all use code generation platforms. Initially, ChatGPT used to generate the code, but it wasn't able to execute the code. But if you can see these days, the no code platforms actually have agentic AI in it. And you can execute the code, you can write the code, you can see it working over there. So no code platform was actually a RPA in traditional days. But nowadays it has the AI, it evaluates your code, it show you the preview, and it gives you the proper code by just writing a prompt. Then the game changer N8N. N8N basically is the open source platform, okay, that allows you to create RP automations with agentic AI. Here are some key features. N8N is basically free. It is open source. You can deploy it on your servers, or you can use it over there only. If you are a pro, you know how to code, you can take N8N code, modify it a little bit, you can make it as your own product with a little branding of N8N. Why to choose N8N? So full control over data. When you deployed it on your own premises, you have full control on the connections, the keys, the data you provided. So you have a proper data consistency over there. Developer friendly, it's easy for developers to understand, first of all. For those also who doesn't know how to code, it is very easy, okay? But for developers, it's something more easy because we already know how to create agents and the flow of the code is working. Transparency, when it is deployed on your servers, you have the transparency of the connections you made, of the code, of the running pipelines you have. Then scalable. What N8N did, it ships the Docker image. It has a production base, a database in it, and you just need to deploy it over a Docker stable system. Think of Kubernetes. If I have to deploy N8N over Kubernetes, I just need to give the path to the Docker image. And then the Kubernetes pod will auto scale, the N8N will auto scale the system. Let's have a hands-on session over N8N. So I'll be deploying my NA10 application over an open source cloud platform that is Render. Okay, that allows you to run web apps free. You just need to get the NA10 image from the Docker. It's freely available. You just post it into the Docker image. It will take the name of the project by itself, and you need to just connect to the Docker and get a free instance. No environment variable is required. You just deploy the web service and will start your deployment. It will take a minute or two to successfully deploy to your application. And then you can just start by creating your own root account. Setting up NA10 is very easy. Basically, it has only one screen that will make you set up your root account, and then you can just use NA10 freely. Okay, so it deployed NA10 in 4 to 5 minutes, and we have a owner account setup screen available. Okay, so I'll first create a owner account. Once done with the user setup, you just need to customize your N10. I'll be choosing my company as a market agency or consultancy. Then the role, I would be a engineer. Then looking to automate, I would say reporting. You can have multiple here. I will choose reporting as only. And then, so what the automation is basically for? So if it's mainly for me, your company size, how you hear about, you can choose any of these and get started. Then it will send a key. This key is basically allows you to use N10 on your premises by creating unlimited automations. So N10 has a very clean design. It has to create if you want to create from scratch or test some AI examples as well available. But let's start with creating some scratch data. Okay, so think of a time when you have to write emails and you don't like have access to your Gmail account and to your laptop as well. So let's create a chatbot that can send emails automatically to the desired person by writing just the email of the person and the content what you want. A little bit explanation of the content. So as we see that here we have three types of things that AI agent wants. The chat model is basically your LLM, the memory where it will store the conversations, and the tool. So here we can choose any chat model. There are multiple available. Okay, you can have the free ones. You can have the images as well. You can have the deployed ones also. I'll be choosing Gemini because it's free and easy to use. To get a free key for Gemini, you just need to open the Google AI Studio. It will give you the get API key button and just create a new API key from there. Once you got the API key, you can click on select credentials and create new credential and enter your API key here. And you will got your model ready. You can add additional options also. If you are a developer, you might be knowing that we have safety settings with the Gemini available that help us to add guardrails in Gemini. That like if Gemini is creating some sort of biased questions, some sort of insulting questions, you can use those guardrails to prevent those things. Now for the memory part, I will be using simple memory. You don't need to add any additional things here or there. And then for the tool. So if you want to send an email to one of your person, you might be requiring a SMTP server and a username and a password for that. Okay. So for that, I'll be choosing SMTP server here. And we'll be adding credentials. If you want to use Gmail to send emails, Gmail provide you a app password and the email is the username for your SMTP server here. So we can create a app password by just going on manage your account, security, and just enter app password. You will see it on the second part. And you can keep any of the name here. For the host, we need to get the SMTP server of Gmail. You can find it over Google. It will give you the proper SMTP server. Once you get the credentials, you just need to add your from email, and you can choose detect, allow model to detect in to email. So what we basically do, that if you allow model to detect the to email, model will give you the email that has to be used to send. We will choose subject also to allow model to detect, and then the format, and then I will choose it to text, and then text will also be given by the model as well. Once everything done, you will see setup like this. So basically this AI agent will be triggered by a chat. Then it has Gemini as the model. Then it has the simple memory to store the conversation. And then it has a tool to send emails. We can try sending email. And you can see the live presentation of how it's working. First go on to GPT and Gemini and get the proper output format. Then it goes to simple memory, saving the conversation there, and then it's using the SMTP server to send email. Any of the errors will also be logged properly, so you can just have a debugging there, that what's the proper issue. Okay. Sure. And notes has been executed successfully, then you can see the email. This was the email that was received by the automation. You just need to give the prompt or the chat into the model, and the emails will be sent automatically. With this, you can create multiple different types of automation. There are 1,000+ integrations available in NA10. Your keys will be safe because it's been hosted on your own premises. Your credentials will be safe. You can just add those credentials and test different integrations available. For the marketing, they can use it to send emails to the clients. For the BAs, they can use the transcripts of the meetings to create Jira tickets and stories. For the development team, they can use to create some validations or test cases. And then for testers also as well, they can create test cases for their APIs. Thank you, everyone. So any questions from your side? So you have integrations available there with the Zypers. Okay, Zyper allow you to create test cases for particular links. They have the like particular integration of that in available in Zyper. So you integrate it with Zyper N8N, and then Zyper will be integrated to your system endpoints, and those endpoints will be like evaluated with the proper inputs and outputs. Zyper will write the test cases, and N8N will handle the output from Zyper. Yes, because ECDT, one of our project is having the same architecture. Like they want a chatbot that can evaluate, scan, and write documents. You can create different agents for those, and you can use the chatbot in your system as well. That's all. Thank you.